This is session 2 of God's preparation for Jesus' coming. Yesterday we took a quick overview of the people of Israel and how God was preparing the world through that nation. Today I want to look at what happened in the area of what we know as the East or the Orient. These were the people who are actually the descendants of Noah's son Ham. Now it was the nation of Babylon that took the people into captivity. And this nation covers the Tigris-Euphrates area. It goes into eastern Turkey, or present-day eastern Turkey, present-day Iraq and Iran, southern areas of those. The king Nebuchadnezzar at the time had a dream. And he had a dream that there was this huge statue and it had a head of gold. It had arms and breast of silver. Then it had a belly and legs of bronze. Belly and thighs of bronze, and the lower legs and feet were iron and partly clay. He didn't know what the dream meant, but there was a young Israelite who'd been taken into captivity by the name of Daniel, and Daniel was able to interpret this. And he said, this statue is 4 empires, and the first one is the empire that's there now, and that was the Babylonians, the head of gold. Then the next empire was Persian, the next was Greece, and the final one was Rome. But in the dream, Nebuchadnezzar had seen just a huge rock come out of the mountain and smash them all. And so what was happening was that these 4 empires would be destroyed by the hand of God. However, God used each of these empires in a very special way to prepare for the coming of Jesus. Now, Babylon and Persia, they were both empires that had huge wealth. In fact, the Persians were so wealthy that their soldiers used to go into battle with gold leaf on their chariots and on their shields. They were just sort of flaunting their wealth. They saw themselves as absolutely invincible. The religions of their area were Zoroastrianism, Hinduism, Confucianism, Taoism, Shintoism, and Buddhism. But their wealth couldn't save them. And when they were overtaken by the Greeks, they found that their wealth couldn't do anything for them. The people found that their religions couldn't offer them any hope. The only religion that seemed to offer any hope was the Jewish people scattered among them. Because the prophets in this time of exile were talking about a Messiah who would come to rule. Isaiah 6:9, for unto us a child is born, unto us a son is given, and the government shall be upon his shoulder. And so in their despair they began to look for hope, and this was the one religion that was offering it. Interesting, the Roman historian Suetonius wrote something. It says this: an ancient and definite expectation had spread throughout the East that a ruler of the world would, at about that time, arise in Judea. Another Roman writer, Tacitus, also said a similar thing. And then there was a German historian by the name of Schlegel, and he says that Buddhist missionaries travelling to China met Chinese sages who were on their way to seek the Messiah in about the year 33 AD. You see, God was preparing the minds of the Eastern people to look for a Messiah figure. Of course, we read in Matthew's version of the birth of Jesus how men from the east who studied the stars saw a star which to them said that a new king was born, and naturally they headed for Judea because they knew of all the rumours or the sayings going around that a king would come from Judea. We also know that many Easterners were there on the day of Pentecost, because we read that list of people who heard their own languages, and there were Parthians and Medes, people from the East. God was preparing the minds of the Easterners to accept Jesus Christ as Messiah.
There is a hope that burns within my heart, that gives me strength for every passing day. A glimpse of glory now revealing me, the heart yet drives all doubt consolation strong against despair. And when the world has plunged me in its deepest pit, I find the Saviour there. Through present suffering, future fear, He whispers courage in my ear. For I am safe in everlasting arms, and they will lead me home. There is a hope that stands the test of time, that lifts my eyes beyond the beckoning grave, to see the matchless beauty of a day divine, when I behold His face. When suffering cease and sorrows die, and every longing satisfied, when